The biggest debate in the world of boxing is around who exactly is the greatest fighter of all time. Fans, analysts, and fighters across many different generations of the sport have varying opinions about who is the very best to grace the squared circle. And some of the most common names who get mentioned are the likes of Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and Muhammad Ali. 1. Muhammad Ali. Professional boxing record, 56-5. Taking the number 1 spot as the greatest boxer of all time, according to Top 10's ranking, is none other than the man who changed boxing forever, the iconic Muhammad Ali. Ali was also recently voted the greatest heavyweight of all time, and his greatness and impact on the sport have also seen him ranked as the greatest fighter ever across all weight divisions. Ali is one of the most flamboyant and entertaining fighters the sport of boxing has ever seen due to his speed, agility, and confidence. However, his impact on the sport of boxing goes way beyond his incredible achievements inside the squared circle. The Kentucky native completely revolutionized the sport in terms of big-time fights and showmanship. Ali always turned up when the lights were the brightest and was one of the first fighters ever to captivate fans with creative trash talk. With his tremendous in-ring ability combined with his showmanship and style, there will never be another fighter like Ali who graces boxing. 2. Sugar Ray Robinson. Professional boxing record, 174-19. There aren't many fighters who have graced the sport of boxing who you can confidently say didn't have any weaknesses to their game, but Sugar Ray Robinson is one of the rare fighters you can say that about. Robinson had a unique blend of speed, power, movement, and fight IQ, which made him an almost impossible puzzle to solve during his prime. Robinson competed in 201 professional bouts and was undefeated for 8 years from 1943 to 1951, which nowadays is completely unheard of, especially given the fact he had over 90 fights in that time frame. To reiterate just how good Robinson was, way before the pound-for-pound debate and conversation entered boxing, he was named pound-for-pound best for many years before the term started to get branded about. 3. Mike Tyson. Professional boxing record, 50-7. In his prime, Mike Tyson was arguably the most feared man alive, and he is certainly one of the most terrifying fighters in boxing history. While Iron was predominantly known for his unpredictability and pitbull-like aggression, he was an incredibly skilled technical fighter who just so happened to pack insane power. Throughout his career, Tyson adopted the peek-a-boo style where he would throw shots and defend from incredibly awkward angles and positions, which made him a nightmare for his opponents to figure out. Iron is a true great of the sport and was a very unique individual who we may never see the like of ever again. 4. Manny Pacquiao. Professional boxing. The Filipino won world titles across a staggering 8 divisions, ranging from flyweight to light middleweight, which is simply incredible. Despite moving up and down in weight so frequently, Pacquiao managed to perform to an elite standard for a very long time and has one of the most impressive resumes of all time, which features victories over the likes of Oscar de la Hoya, Miguel Cotto, and Ricky Hatton. Although Pacquiao was relatively small, he certainly packed a punch, which was a huge asset for him to go along with his speed and footwork. 5. Rocky Marciano. Professional boxing record, 49-0. As mentioned when discussing the amazing achievements of Joe Louis, heavyweight boxing is unpredictable, and a fight can be changed with just one shot, and many fighters felt the full force of that during their careers. But one man who didn't was the legendary Rocky Marciano. While Marciano's style was risky given the fact he was very much a pressure fighter who was constantly aggressive, nobody could handle him. His combination of relentless pressure, immense cardio, and devastating power more than made up for his size and reach, both of which he had a big disadvantage on in most of his fights. To emphasize just how good Marciano was, he retired in 1955, and still to this day, no other heavyweight champion has been able to do what he did, and that is retire undefeated. 6. Joe Louis. Professional boxing record, 66-3. In heavyweight boxing, a whole fight can be turned on its head with just one punch, which makes Joe Louis's immense success in the division even more impressive. The Brown Bomber held undisputed status at heavyweight for almost 12 years and, during that time, managed to completely clear out the division. When heavyweight boxers are often thought of, the first thing which typically comes to mind is a big right hand with not much technique. That wasn't the case with Louis. He had everything. His technique, power, movement, and combinations made him a well-rounded heavyweight beast who, at his best, was unbeatable. 7. Floyd Mayweather. Professional boxing record, 50-0. To many, Floyd Mayweather will be considered the greatest boxer of all time. However, in Top 10's ranking, money only features at number 7. Mayweather holds the most impressive professional boxing record ever with 50 wins and 0 losses, which becomes even more impressive when you look into who he defeated during his career. Mayweather was a true defensive genius. Every person who stepped in the ring with him knew what they were coming up against, but he was simply too smart and too difficult to hit. The word boring followed money around throughout his career, but boxing purists and people who can realize that his defensive game was an art form will appreciate his style and greatness. 8. Sugar Ray Leonard. Professional boxing record, 36-3. Sugar Ray Leonard may just be one of the most versatile and adaptable boxers of all time. He had pretty much every skill a boxer could dream of, but what made his game so impressive was how he could switch up his approach at any time. Whether he was fighting smart and defensively or wanted to brawl, Leonard was elite wherever the fight took him. As well as being a 5-weight world champion, Leonard also won a gold medal at the 1976 Olympic Games. Leonard's accolades are incredible, and so is his resume of wins, which includes some phenomenal performances against Roberto Duran and Thomas Hearns. 9. Henry Armstrong. Professional boxing record, 152-22. Henry Armstrong may not be as well known as some of the other fighters who have been ranked in Top 10's ranking of the 20 greatest boxers of all time. However, he holds arguably the most impressive accolade out of all of them. Still to this day, Armstrong remains the only fighter in boxing history to hold world titles in 3 divisions simultaneously, which is an achievement which may never be seen again. In just 14 years as a professional boxer, Armstrong managed to compete in a whopping 183 fights. Activity like this is unheard of, but Armstrong's method behind such insane activity was to knock out his opponents while also avoiding damage. The Mississippi native scored an incredible 101 career KOs while managing to get defeated via finish just twice in 183 fights, which is incredibly impressive. 10. Roy Jones Jr. Professional boxing record, 66-10. Given his immense success across 4 separate divisions in boxing, Roy Jones Jr. is an absolute must when discussing the greatest fighters of all time. Jones Jr. won world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight, which will cement his position as a pound-for-pound great for years to come, as not many other fighters can say they had that much success across divisions. As well as having great accolades, Jones Jr. also passed the eye test. He had a style which was incredible to watch due to his incredible speed, counterpunching, and flawless technique, which looked even better at times as he loved to showboat.